Here in Nigeria, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party during the last elections, Atiku Abubakar, recently called for a closing of ranks among the country's opposition parties as the only way that could lead to taking the reins of power away from the All Progressives Congress. Those comments have been subjected to all manner of interpretations, with quite a few people suggesting that the former vice president should call time on his political career as a statement of seriousness if he genuinely had the interest of Nigeria and Nigerians at heart. Well, Jacob Mark is a lawyer and former national legal advisor for the PDP, and he joins us now to consider the proposal on coalition of political forces among PDP, the Labour Party, and New Nigeria People's Party. Many thanks for honoring our invitation. Welcome to Newsday.
Thank you so much.
Now, Mr. Mark, considering the fact that the PDP could not put its house in order before the 2023 general elections, how realistic is it to think that a merger is possible, especially when you consider all the personalities and egos involved?
You have raised a vital issue. That issue has to do with ego. For me personally, it's a sad day that this call is coming after all the opportunities thrown at the PDP before the 2023 elections were wasted. The Nigerian people and outside Nigeria were anxious to see what the PDP will do or to see what will happen in the 2023 election. It was supposed to be a very big fight. It was supposed to be a very close call, particularly for the ruling party, which had given sufficient material with which to work, with which to campaign against. But the PDP wasted the opportunity. And it is rather late in the day to begin to talk about any coalition. Why didn't that call come before the election? Because now elections have come and gone. The courts have ruled. The Supreme Court finally gave its verdict. And President Tinubu is here to stay, if nothing at all, for the next 4 years. So what coalition are we talking about, for God's sake? Is it a coalition to oppose him in government, or to oppose his policies, or to maybe want to keep talking? Probably that is that. But for as far as taking away power from the ruling party is concerned, every constitutional opportunity has been closed with the decision of the Supreme Court. So I don't see what that call is for. Maybe people just want to amuse themselves.
And actually, the NNPP National Publicity Secretary called it an emotional discussion and something of medicine after death in order to bring this coalition about. But some critics are also saying that after the great losses that PDP has suffered, and especially Atiku Abubakar, that he should just throw in the towel and give way to other and new leadership within the PDP or elsewhere. What is your thoughts on that?
Well, politicians hardly resign or retire. Many of them around the world, until death do them part. They don't throw in the towel. And I don't think it is anybody's right to say someone should retire. It is a personal issue. Participation or involvement in politics is largely personal. And as long as one is alive, he's entitled to participation. The other issue that could be discussed maybe is whether someone at a particular age should still be vying for political office. But still, that goes to the personality of the person involved. It's a constitutional right. It's a fundamental right to associate, to aspire. You can't take it away from anybody. So it's not within the gamut of someone else's decision or idea to say, look, you should retire. No, it doesn't work that way. people are entitled to participate. And I see the next few years being very interesting. Those who want to take over from anybody should show their hand. Let's also see them. What do they have in stock? What are they carrying? What qualities are they going to display? So it's not within the space of a third party or an outsider to recommend or to pressure anybody to retire. Atiku Abubakar, His Excellency, by all means and definitions, is a Nigerian, is aptly qualified to participate in politics, but the level at which he will participate is something else that is left to his person and his personal decision. It is not within anybody's entitlement to say he should retire.
Now, Mr. Mark, the former vice president has warned against, the likelihood of Nigeria slipping into a one-party state. But I'm wondering how different really is this from the strategy used by the PDP in 2003 when the Alliance for Democracy was almost completely, sidelined. And you also recall that the PDP once boasted that it will rule for 60 years. So how trustworthy really is the PDP regarding upholding and defending democracy in Nigeria?
For any politician, ambition and desire come together to propel your approach. So it's not wrong to aspire to be in control for as long as the Constitution allows you. It was a right or it was an entitlement to say, look, we're going to rule for 60 years. But whether that will happen or not depends on what you put on the table, particularly where the opinion and decision and feelings of the Nigerian populace is concerned. As for the issue of sliding into one-party state, the situation at hand really is scary because it's not just that the ruling party has majority in the National Assembly or elsewhere, but that in the recent elections that have come and gone, in Imo State and Kogi State and Bayelsa, the tenets of democracy appear to be sinking. We are no longer interested in making sure that the Nigerian citizen is given a right of participation, a right to decide who will govern him. State power is now being involved. There is a complete reversal of gains. As far as I'm concerned, what we gained from 1999 to 2015 have all been eroded because we no longer see where votes count. People are showing wherever you are in control, you dominate and humiliate. You rule, you ensure that you retain power by all means. And it's so sad that people say, they even say that go to court. I'm a lawyer, I'm ashamed that that is the phrase that politicians find convenient to deploy after taking power by all means. They challenge you to go to court. It's not a joyful thing, it's a shameful thing. It's something that should not be mentioned in a Nigerian or in any democracy for that matter.
Right, well,
we're sliding not into a one-party state, but into irresponsible craving for power and the snatching and running with power by all means without respect to the law.
And really quickly, since we are very short on time, which is the way forward for PDP now? As the election campaign went on last year, it was like watching a slow train crash. We were talking to a lot of PDP head chiefs, and they had discussed having internal mechanisms for working the issues out within the party. I mean, now we see that those did not work out. We have quite a few rogue governors, and this is the situation we're in now. So what's the next step for PDP? How do they begin to lick their wounds and gather back the strength in order to be a very well-respected party again?
Well, it depends on who is in charge currently, because the condition of the PDP is a woeful one. It's not a palatable thing to look at. There appears to be no party leadership at all. Leadership has disappeared. People just behave the way they want. I cannot imagine, for instance, that the national secretary went to contest governorship without resigning. He lost the governorship and has resumed. This is completely outside the expectations and the declarations and contents of the constitution of the PDP. You cannot do that. And but those in control, those in power in the party, if they're interested in repositioning the party, they know what to do. For me, I would have suggested that they all resign. Let there be a national convention where new leaders will emerge. Let there be a NEC meeting. But as you know, people hold on to power and use it the way they want. And that's what is happening. We have a situation where people misbehaved and betrayed the party even before the elections. And they promised to do it. Nothing has happened to them. People did so many horrible things, diverting monies meant for party activities, betraying the interests of the party in several places, and nothing has happened to them, and nothing will happen to them. So this impunity is not good for democracy. It's not good for any political party, not just the PDP. And we are heading to nowhere. When we are calling for a reconsideration of the demands by some governors and some stakeholders before the election so that peace will reign, people were arrogantly uninterested in listening to alternative opinion. And we went on. There was a lot of ego, and that's why I love your opening phrase. A lot of ego comes in personal aggrandizement and arrogance that is displayed by those who have control, either of the party or resources. They do whatever they want. And that kind of thing is not good for any political party.
Mr. Jacob Mark, former PDP National Legal Advisor, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday, and we wish your party all the very best.